Hey, Hannah, welcome to the Ecom Crew podcast.
Thanks for having me, Mike. It's really nice to be here.
It's awesome to have you. We are going to start this trend now of getting some of our employees in the Philippines to come do the Ecom Crew podcast because I'm always I'm always gloating about the work that our team does. And recently we switched to a new format where our team presents internally about things that they're working on and share their successes so the rest of the team can hopefully take those things and apply it to their brand because we work on 4 different brands, maybe soon to be 5. And I think it's important to share information. Also, I think it's important to share successes. So Hannah has been with us for a little bit over a year. I forgot exactly when you started now. How long has it been?
A year, nearing 2 years. I think I'm turning 2 this coming
Is it coming
February.
up on 2 years already? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so year and a half, year and 3/4 or something. So
Yep.
She's been doing great work for us. And today we're going to be talking about how they optimized some videos on our YouTube channel for our tactical brand. And so if you are doing YouTube right now or thinking about doing YouTube in the future, I think you're going to find this stuff to be incredibly helpful, incredibly interesting and insightful. I love this like real world example of we did, A and Y happened and we did B and Z happened. And there's a lot of that in here. Did I miss anything, Hannah? Does that pretty much cover what we're going to be going over today?
No, you pretty much covered it. That was a perfect summary, actually.
I've done this once or twice before, so
It shows.
Awesome.
Definitely shows.
I'm really good at being a bad podcast host. I'm awesome at that at this point in my life. Cool. Well, let's jump right into it and get into the first slides.
All right. So, as Mike said, today we're talking about optimizing YouTube and making the most out of your YouTube channel and your videos. So, for us, it's our YouTube channel is the Tactical channel, so tactical.com if you search it on YouTube. And just a little info on it, we've got about 2.15 thousand subscribers is a feat in itself, actually. And with that, we didn't want to waste the potential this channel had. So our plan was to really grow this tactical YouTube channel that we had. And one way we did that was by finding strategies during Q2 of 2021 to implement growth. And then in Q3 of this year, we implemented the strategies to 4 existing videos because currently we don't have any new content. So we're just testing it out on updating existing videos. Now, the first step, for this presentation, we'll be referring to just one video that we updated, which is the Bug Out Bag Basics video released on October 24, 2018. So all the stats and all that will be in reference to this video. Now, the first thing that we did a video analysis, which is basically the basis for your implementation. We checked the number of views that the video had. We checked the best practices we were implementing at that time. We checked the SEO score of that video. And we also checked on what we were lacking, what we weren't doing. And with that, these were our findings. So as of September 22, we had a total number of 933 views. Our SEO score was kind of pretty bad. It's 30 out of 100. This is my test score in a geometry exam, which is bad. Our
You
best
too, huh?
practices. Yeah, me too. Geometry, algebra. Ugh. But yeah, for best practices, we had high resolution thumbnail and we had captions added. But that was the only 2 best practices we were currently doing at that time. Now for lacking, we were lacking info cards, we were lacking chapters, we were lacking an end screen. So it was a lot. We were lacking on a lot of things on our videos at that time. So knowing all of this, we moved forward, and the first step that we did was we created a list of keywords. Keywords have this big impact on, copywriting and SEO stuff, and on YouTube it's the same thing. You need to have a list of great keywords. And how you can do that is by finding keywords that are directly related to the topic. If you're creating a new video, keywords related to that topic, as well as keywords related to the industry. So for us, since we were just updating an existing video, what we did is we got keywords related to the topic. So bugging out, bug out basics, and bug out items. And then keywords related to the industry, which is the prepping industry and survivalism industry. We had survival and prepping. And then from there, we could base on a lot of things just on those keywords alone. So getting a good list of keywords is really important for content creation on YouTube.
Yeah, it might be, I guess, a good time just real quick to mention, I mean, tactical.com, our focus is prepping and survivalism. That's kind of the basis for the channel. And this particular video is about a bug out bag, which is basically, if you think about when you're having a baby, you have like the hospital bag, you run to the hospital with all the stuff in there for that. This is, something really bad's happening in your area, a flood, an earthquake, the zombie apocalypse, whatever. And you're going to go grab this bag and survive out of it for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it might be for you and your family. And this is a video that we had put out, as you mentioned, years ago. One thing I do also want to mention about this channel, which I forgot to mention off the top, so I'll just mention it since I'm talking right now. We did get a lot of subscribers. We are, a couple thousand subscribers. That's not anything that unless write home for. We're not going to get the YouTube plaque. But we only have a couple of videos, really. It's is it 10, I think, total videos? So to have that many subscribers with so few videos, actually, I do think is a great achievement. And we really only focused on YouTube content creation for about a year and a couple months. We were really, we had a goal to launch a YouTube video basically once a quarter. And the pandemic put that on hold. So we haven't launched anything since like 2019 because COVID came in, and all these videos were things that we were doing as a group in the Philippines. They were working together and or going on a camping trip or whatever it might be to test all this stuff out. And so the reason that this whole project even came about was, okay, well, we want to get back to focusing on this YouTube channel and growing it, but we don't have the ability to even make any new content right now because the pandemic is really still in full effect in the Philippines. So anyway, I just wanted to mention those things too. We probably should have mentioned them off the top, but since I was chatted. Anyway, if you want to keep on moving on, I'm sorry to interrupt.
It was my mistake. I'm so used to talking like I'm talking to everyone as if they were preppers. Right. I forget that some people are like, question mark, what is bug out bags? What is this? What is that? So thanks for that, Mike. You really,
and also it's
really
normally the internal audience, and we all know what tactical.com is, but we don't really talk about that necessarily that much on the podcast. So hopefully everyone's up to speed now.
Yeah, so basically everything prepping and survival related, tactical.com. But yeah, moving forward, so you get your list of keywords, make sure it's related to your topic and then your industry. And then once you have that, the first thing you want to do with your keywords is to really create a keyword optimized title. You want to insert those into your video titles. Now, we use keywords because, it helps you rank on YouTube and on Google. It's a big thing. It really is a big factor, and I'll talk about that more later. I'll show you why those keywords are helping you rank on YouTube. What you want to do is you also want to maximize your title for click-through. So when you're writing a title, some people think it's just, putting a bunch of words together, but it's more thoughtful actually when you're creating a YouTube title. You have to clearly state the benefits and what the viewers are learning from your video, all in the title. So it's challenging to really show you an example of that. We'll go to this. The old title of the Bug Out Bag Basics video was Bug Out Bag Basics, What to Look For in a Bug Out Bag, plus How to Pack for When Shit Hits the Fan. Now, not gonna lie, it's a mouthful for a title. It's a pretty long title, So we went around thinking, how can we make this shorter but more straightforward and clearer to the audience? Really give them the thing, like, what are they learning? So with the new title, we came up with the basics of prepping a bug out bag for beginners. So this tells the viewer or the person searching for the video, and they chance upon it and they see this title, they'll be like, okay, So what I'm going to get out of this video is prepping a bug out bag, and it's for beginners. And from there, they can have the choice to watch it or not, if they're a beginner or if they want to learn more. But it really clearly states what it's about, and that's what's important with YouTube titles. You have to be purposeful and, thinking about the viewer. It's really for them. Now, the next thing in line with, having a great YouTube title for your video is having a great description as well, video description. So making it really SEO friendly. How do you do this? You want to add keywords, your keywords that you created, the list. You want to add those into your description. Make it as natural as possible. Not like just do keyword stuffing. Just make the sentence flow and then calmly insert those keywords into it and make it logical. You want to write about 1 to 2 paragraphs, and you want to add a good amount of info. I don't know if you've noticed, Mike, but sometimes if you're searching videos on YouTube and you check out the description, sometimes it's empty, sometimes it's just, pretty basic. People aren't really utilizing it. I don't know if you've noticed that. Then there are some videos that, yeah, right? So
I spend an inappropriate amount of time on YouTube. Let's just leave it at that.
Inappropriate amount of time. All right. Yeah. So I don't
really watch TV anymore. I just find myself on YouTube for almost everything that I watch anymore. I watch just instructional videos on this, that, or the other, or whatever, and don't really get into television. So I do, and I have noticed a difference between the good YouTubers and the ones that aren't taking full advantage. You click on the description, and the ones that have lots of information in there, lots of keywords. They've clearly took some time to do this versus, quite frankly, what we were doing before you did this project, which was laughable at best.
Yeah, there are really some people who aren't fully utilizing what YouTube has to offer. So it's a simple thing, video description. Some people are like, why put a description if people are just going to watch the video? Just forget it. But in my opinion, there's gonna watch the video, just forget it. But in my opinion, this right here is our video description. It's pretty lengthy, but it's a ton of good information. So if you're the kind of person who likes to read before you watch a video, this is perfect for you. It's a great, if I might say, it's a great video description. If I might say, it's a great video description. Length paragraph here, and then here at this part we say, this is what you're gonna get if you watch this video. You'll discover what a bug out bag is, what are things to consider. We verbally put it there so that people can also read about what they're getting. Then it doesn't end there. There's a lot more that we put. So we also put links to our blogs. We put We put where you get maximum exposure. So adding links to your social media accounts, to your websites. This is where you want to do it. On the off chance, someone reads it, at least you get this assurance that there's a 50% chance someone's going to click on those links. And, we'll take it. Instead of just leaving it empty, we'd rather put links up there and then get that.
I think that Google appreciates this too. I think it's good for SEO. And for those of you who are, again, listening on the audio version, can you just back up one screen? I'll read some of the description here. It's, a whole screen full, but it starts off here. You can't say you're geared up for natural disasters, man-made events, or the zombie invasion if your bug out bag essentials aren't all set. For preppers, building a bug out bag is one of the most critical aspects of preparedness. Here's why. When disaster strikes, your home may not be the safe place it normally is. Bugging out may be the best and only option for your survival. Since time won't be on your side, it's best to pack bug out bags in advance so you won't look like a headless chicken trying to collect your important supplies. And this goes on. There's I read about half of it. So it's, it's written with some humor and, lots of keywords in there. And also on the next screen here, if you are watching it back on the video, there's tags throughout the video for basically chapters, if you will. So it starts out with bug out bag basics, and then what is a bug out bag, types of bug out bags. There's a typo there. I should say type of bug out bags, not bag. what to put in your bug out bag, food bags, companion, camping bags, etc. And so it goes through. And so if you're looking at something specific or looking for something specific, you can jump right to the part that you want. You might not want to watch an 8-minute video about a bug out bag. You might only care about the camping aspect of it or whatever it might be. And so you can click on the chapter title and go right to what you want, which is going to increase engagement and make YouTube love you significantly more.
Exactly, Mike. Thank you for like really honing in on that. I'll talk about chapters in the next slide. But yes, for video description, really make use of it. Go hard. Add those links, the relevant links. Make sure you put chapters. Put a good description in there, and it'll tie nicely with the content that you have. Now, as Mike mentioned, we have adding chapters is a really highly recommended thing you do for your YouTube video. So if you're wondering what chapters are, it's the little sections on a YouTube video that you see. If you're watching the video right now, you can see this part. This is what a chapter is. So it's basically a blocked out section on the YouTube time frame. And if you hover over it, it shows you what the title of that chapter is and what point it starts at and what point it ends. So it's basically breaking it down into sections, the whole video. Now you want to add chapters because, again, it adds context to your video and it breaks up the video into sections. So, for example, I'm searching for bug out bag basics, but I'm looking for something specific. Like, I just want to know what's a bug out bag. So if I have chapters to a video, I can just hover over the time frame, the timeline, and look for the section that says, what is a bug out bag? Watch that portion, and then I'm good. I've got what I needed. I got what I needed, and now I can peruse the other chapters on the video, hover over it, give it a look. So it's more purposeful. Adding chapters, it's a really good thing, You do want people to watch the whole video, but you also want to get that crowd that's looking for something specific. So by adding chapters, you're doing that. You're hitting 2 audiences with it. So chapters, everyone. Now, if you're wondering how you're supposed to add chapters, it's, some people might think it's difficult. Personally, I had to do a little research, but then it's really super easy because if you saw in the description box, that's where you add your chapters. It's basically just adding the timestamps and then the title to the description box. And once you type that in, automatically YouTube will add those chapters to the video. So it's really easy, really useful, and it's something you should really utilize, adding chapters to your video. So yeah. Now, tying in with chapters, info cards. I didn't know what this was actually until I searched it up. All I know is the video was lacking info cards. Like, what is info cards? What are info cards? I don't know if you know what it is, Mike. Do you? Officially?
I told you I watch a lot of YouTube, so I know what it is.
Okay.
But it's like up on the top, usually top right corner.
Yes, right, top right
or at
corner.
the end of the video. Basically, if you're talking about something and you want to link to another video, another resource, you can do that. It gets people into the YouTube rabbit hole. You can start by watching a video about bug out bags, and then next thing you know, you're watching some video about like Greek islands because they're a good place to vacation in an emergency or something. I don't know, but it can definitely go down a crazy rabbit hole. But the point is to keep people on YouTube longer and to keep them watching your content longer, which if you're a YouTuber, that's going to get you more revenue. But that's not the reason we do any of this. But we are looking to get more exposure for our brand, and we certainly want to get people more familiar with our content and our name. And so the more they're watching our stuff, the better. And these info cards definitely help with that.
Yeah, exactly. Info cards are the reason why I end up on the weird side of YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. Just clicking the info cards. I always end up on the weird side of YouTube, watching a video of cats. When I started out watching a instructional video, I'll end up watching a video on homecoming with your cats and all that. So
Right.
you can blame info cards for that. But it works, right? It works.
Crazy cat fails or something. Those are my favorite.
Exactly. So yeah, info cards just add this level of interactivity to the video. As you can see, you go down the YouTube rabbit hole via info cards. It also gives your viewers the option, and basically it's put in videos that are related to your video, the topic that you have, or link it out to videos on your channel, so that if they do fall into a YouTube rabbit hole, it's all within your channel. So more views for you, more views on your channel, which means it's a good thing for YouTube, and the higher the ranking goes. So that's info cards. You make use of it. It's really great for linking out to your related videos and getting more views on your other videos. Now, another thing we want to talk about when it comes to optimizing your YouTube videos and your YouTube channel is adding optimized video tags. Now, for video tags, you're gonna base this off your keywords list. So you want to do 2 to 3 tags with your target keywords, then 2 tags that represent the industry that you're in, then 2 tags that are related to the topic of your video. So for us, we had a lot of tags. We had a lot of video tags we added. When I checked it at first before I made any edits, there were no tags at all. Actually, to be honest, we didn't have tags. We weren't using them. So after a bit of research, I did a little adding of tags, and this is what I came up with. So we have Bug Out Bag Basics, Bug Out Bag 101, Bug Out Bag for beginners. For stuff that are related to the industry, we have survival, prepping, preppers, preparedness. And then related to the topic, we have survival gear, prepping gear. So as you can see, it's all within that bubble, and it's all related to each other. So that's what you want to do with your optimized video tags. Then another thing you also want to do is, it's a no-brainer. I think a lot of people do this. I think it's the one thing they actually focus on and get right is adding an eye-catching thumbnail to their video. So you want your thumbnail to have, people will recommend having contrasting or clashing colors just because it really captures the attention. And then, copy that's kind of clickbaity, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. People they want to use that to really capture your attention. So you can see how we applied it to our video. This was our old thumbnail, was basically just a thumbnail that was decked out in black, red, and white, which isn't really, advisable when you're on YouTube, because the YouTube colors are basically black, red, and white. So if you have a thumbnail that has those colors, there's a big chance you'll just get lost in the search results when someone's looking. Their eyes won't even go towards your thumbnail just because, they're seeing a lot of the red, black, and white on the YouTube site itself. So you want to avoid that color. So that's what our old thumbnail was, and our title, our copy on the thumbnail itself was pretty, meh. If I might say so myself, it was a meh, okay, Bug Out Bag Basics, alright. You can scroll on to the next search result. So we came together with a team and we came up with, an idea, and then we applied it to our new thumbnail. So this is what our new thumbnail looks like now. Big difference in colors, because we're still using a bit of black, we're still using a bit of white, but we're using a color that really attracts attention and your eyes really go straight to it. And then we also updated the copy on the thumbnail. So as you can see, we didn't put the title into the copy. We wrote a sort of clickbaity title, but not clickbait enough to throw you off or, deter you. So with this, the copy is learn the basics of bugging out in 7 minutes. So it's really different from the the video title. And you want to do that. You really want to have a different title and a different copy on the thumbnail. Because for this, we're saying learn the basics of bugging out in 7 minutes. So automatically the viewer is going to think, okay, this video is 7 minutes long and I'm going to learn the basics of bugging out. And then when their eyes move on to the title of the video, they see the basics of prepping out a bug out bag for beginners, they're going to go, oh, okay, so it's 7 minutes long, it's the basics of bugging out, and it's for beginners. Okay, that's a lot of info, and you wouldn't have thought that you could get that from a thumbnail and a title paired together. So you really want to maximize that.
Yeah, and this is where I highly recommend hopping over to YouTube if you're listening to this on iTunes, because it's hard to express the before and after here. It's funny because like I always thought the before actually looked halfway decent. It wasn't like we didn't have a thumbnail there or anything. It, it not awful. You know, if I was to kind of grade it, I thought it was good. But you guys have done an amazing job. Like this goes for a lot of things that we're doing as a company, where we think we're doing good. There's always room for improvement, but you see this and you're like, wow, okay, now I really get it. Like, I mean, you guys obviously researched things and thought this through, and it's almost like the original one was an F now that you look at it, and this is an A++. And I can't wait to go through the statistics here because we're about to get to that, I think, here shortly.
Yeah.
But all the things that we've been talking about here added up together make for some pretty overwhelming difference. And the thing that's interesting here, this takes time and this takes effort and work, but nowhere near as much time as putting the original video together, right? I think people focus so much on putting the video together. Same thing as like developing products in e-commerce, and then they just don't make a great listing, or they kind of cut themselves short at the end. And that's why this stuff is so important, making sure that you have a good description, putting your tags in there, having a good title, having a good thumbnail, all the things you talked about. And the proof is in the pudding, which we're going to look at here, maybe not the next slide, but shortly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the old thumbnail it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. But then when I did my research, it's just like, okay, there are ways to make it even better. As you said, there's always room for improvement, and change is always for the better. So, if you apply those, it's basically just learning and learning again and again, and applying new things and making everything better and better and better. And that's what we're doing here. That's our goal with our YouTube channel and everything that we've researched about. So, is it stats time? All right, it's stats time. So what are the effects after the changes? Now, before the changes, we had, let me just recap it a little, 933 views since October 24, 2018. So that was averaging around 26 views per month from October 2018 to September 2021. So that's like a big chunk of time passing by, and you're just getting 26 views per month. And our SEO score was at 30 out of 100. So once we apply the changes, though, we had a total view number of 984 as of November 10. So that's 54 new views since updating in September. And it's only going to go up from there. And our SEO score was at 90 out of 100. So that really tells you that, it's working. You're doing something right. And it's just basically tweaking and testing it to see if it really works. And for us, it's working. And we're really happy about it because, if you think about it, this video was released in 2018, but for it to get more views now is a pretty good feat, with the amount of videos on YouTube. And to really, hammer it down on this point, we're actually ranking for a certain keyword, and this is kind of exciting for us. So the keywords we're ranking for is currently bug out bag for beginners. And this has 29.2 million search results on YouTube alone. It has an overall score of 78 out of 100, which YouTube says is a really, really high score. It's really hard and competitive. But YouTube also says it's good to try and rank for it. And, we're happy to actually rank number 2 in the search results for bug out bags for beginners.
It's awesome.
Yeah, with just 984
So if you're
views.
listening to this and want to see the video, just go search for bug out bag for beginners on YouTube. You'll see the tactical video. It might not be second where you're at. It's always like location and individual specific. But yeah, check out the video. I mean, the video itself is not really what we're talking about here. Again, it's optimizing it, taking an old video. This is actually one of our poorer performing videos. We have videos that have 100,000 plus views, I think, or definitely. I know we have several that have 50,000 or plus views that have performed better over time. These were some tests that we did on this older video that wasn't performing as well, and just doing these few things has more than doubled the traffic. And I think that it's going to continue to grow, because what will end up happening, I think it'll have a waterfall effect, just a flywheel effect, just like Amazon does. As we get more views, it might start showing up in suggestions more. We'll get more subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. Like all that stuff is all a math game. So I think that over time we're going to notice even better results.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting to take note that we're positioned at number 2 with 984 views, and then the video in the first spot is there with 200,000 views, and then the third video is there with 13.7 thousand views, and here we are in the second spot with 984 views, which tells you, that sometimes it's really just finding the strategies that will work for you to put your content out there and to rank, which is really interesting in my opinion, And this is an old video, as you said, Mike. This is a really old video, one of the lowest performing, because we updated the bottom 4 videos that were with the least views. So this is pretty interesting stuff for us to rank at number 2 for Bug Out Bag for beginners.
Definitely. Very cool.
Yeah. Then, what we really learned from all of this is just make use of what YouTube has to offer. If you're looking at just info cards alone, chapters alone, video descriptions alone, it's a small thing. It seems like a small thing. But when you put it all together, you can see how it cohesively works together to really put your video out there. I like to think that, when you're creating content for YouTube, and your videos should be purposeful. It's really easy to just record a video, put it out there, and just pray someone watches it. It works for some, if you're really lucky, it works, but being more purposeful really yields better data, gives you a better understanding of what you want to do, what you want to show your viewers, what your viewer wants, and at the end of the day, that's what you want, purposeful content for your audience. Then
absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Another thing you also want to do, is just test. Don't stop testing. It's always everything's always changing. YouTube, Google Analytics, it's never set. So you have to really go with times, and testing will not hurt you. Testing will always give you. I love data, Mike. I really love data. I love comparison of data just because it shows you your growth, what you could work on. So I'm a really big advocate of test.
Yeah. That's why we get along so well, because I agree. I feel the same way. We're trying to get the team to do more and more of this, and and just have more data. You have more data, you can make more logical decisions. You can base the things that you do off of fact and not feel, and oftentimes facts are different than what you feel.
That is true.
In terms of the things that you thought were going to perform versus what really perform.
Yeah, you get more security with your facts there. Instead of just basing it all on feelings and all. So Mike and I are on the same page with this one. So don't be afraid to test, just go out there and test, do your research and then test it out. I'm pretty excited. Since we were doing this on existing videos, I'm actually really excited to see how this whole strategy will work on new videos, because I feel like it has a bigger impact on new videos, actually. So Mike, I'm excited
ends,
to
we can
shoot.
finally get out there and make a new one.
Yeah, this is me asking can we shoot a new video, please?
I'm ready. I mean, I've been talking to Mia, our leader of the team over there, and it really just comes down to having the ability to get all of you guys in a room together, or in a field together, or on a mountain together, whatever it is, and do it safely. I don't want to get somebody sick just because we want to put together a YouTube video, and so we're having to be careful, but hopefully sometime early next year we'll be able to do that, and we'll share the results when we get those new videos released and see how they do. But I agree. I think if you can kind of shoot yourself out of a cannon and get early traction, it will certainly help. And we'll see how those new videos do.
Exactly. I mean, we were getting pretty good stats for our existing video. What more if you apply this to new videos? And it's just all really exciting. I'm excited. So I'm going to look forward to that in 2022. I'm going to hold you to that, Mike, and hopefully we can do it.
Hopefully, I'm going to go do it with you.
Oh.
Like my goal is to go out there and be with you guys.
Definitely. We've been planning that for quite a while, so I'm hoping 2022 is going to do good stuff for us. And basically that's all on my YouTube optimization presentation, Mike.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us and starting off our series on awesome employees in the Philippines, sharing what they've been up to with our stuff. I mean, I think that there's lots to be learned here from what we've done. I think that, again, focus on your title, focus on the description, focus on adding your tags, have a good thumbnail. You see the results. It's going to probably get you double the traffic. We've had pretty quick turnaround and good luck with it. I love the real life examples. If you have a chance to watch that on YouTube, you'll see the actual thumbnails and the description and all that, or you can just go search for the video on YouTube and watch the tactical.com YouTube channel, and subscribe for us. And as we release more content, you'll get the new stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks so much, Mike, for
Awesome.
having
Thanks
me
so
here.
much, Hannah.